Good morning, everybody. Today we are continuing our previous class. In previous class, we are discussing magnetically data storage device and semiconductor data storage device. Today we are discussing about RAM. Random access memory. It is a primary storage device of computer, and it is a volatile memory. Means if power is failure, this time internal total data is deleting. Primary data storage device, and it is volatile memory. When power is failure, this time internal total data is erasing. And generally, this RAMs is two types. And this first one is static RAM, and another one is dynamic RAM. First one is static RAM. In static RAM, one bit storage purpose, one bit storage purpose, we use 4 transistors. Means here in static RAM, one bit either 0 or 1 storage purpose using 4 transistors in static RAM. And in this static RAM data transfer speed is very high compared to dynamic RAM. This is the advantage. Means high data transfer speed in static RAM is the advantage. But disadvantage is manufacturing of the static RAM is very costly. Means one bit storage purpose we are using 4 transistors. Means here if we construct one 1 GB RAM, that purpose we are using 1 GB means 1024 MB multiply 1024 KB multiply 1024 multiply bytes multiply 4 transistors. This much of transistors required for constructing 1 GB RAM. So this static RAM manufacturing cost is very high. This is the disadvantage static RAM. But advantage is it is a high speed, means it have high speed data transfer speed. This is the advantage. Means compared to dynamic RAM, static RAM is high speed, means high performance static RAM. But disadvantage is manufacturing cost is very high. And this static RAM generally is used in high-end computers, means supercomputers. Nowadays, we using these gadgets, mobile phones, and some gadgets using this static RAM. Reason is this static RAM is a high speed, high performance RAM, and this RAM cost is very high. That is the disadvantage. Next one is dynamic RAM. dynamic RAM. In this dynamic RAM, one bit, either 0 or 1, storage purpose we are using only one transistor. One transistor. Means here every transistor have one capacitor. The capacitor store this either 0 or 1. Means in this number of transistors is very less. In previous static RAM, one disk storage purpose we are using 4 transistors. But here one bit either 0 or 1 storage purpose we are using one transistor. So manufacturing of this dynamic RAM cost is very cheaper. But disadvantage is data transfer speed is slow. Data transfer speed is slow. This is a disadvantage. Present in personal computers, we are using dynamic RAM. And this dynamic RAM is in different versions. In this first one, DDR1, double data rate or dual data rate, DDR1. This DDR1 RAM maximum capacity means one single state maximum capacity is 1 GB. And DDR2. This DDR2 single state maximum capacity means generally on market available 2 GB RAM. But if you want 4 GB RAM also available, but this RAM cost is very high. Next one is DDR3. This DDR3 maximum one single stick data storage is 16 GB is available. And DDR4. This is the latest one. DDR4. This DDR4 RAM in a single stick capacity, maximum capacity is 64 GB. But present in new latest sticks is available. In single stick, that stick maximum capacity is 256 GB. Means now DDR4 is the latest one, and this DDR4 maximum capacity present available on market is 64 GB. On single stick, one RAM stick, maximum capacity is 64 GB, and present latest new sticks is available. That new sticks maximum capacity, one RAM capacity is 256 GB. It's available. This is the DDR4. If we are purchasing this RAM, that time how to be purchased? Means, for example, as per our syllabus, desktop PC upgradation. Upgradation means in this computer we are changing RAM, we are changing hard disk. Sometimes we are changing CD to DVD writer only. Means processor motherboard changing is not possible. We are changing processor motherboard means total system is new one. Now, if we are change means we are upgrade computer, that is which parameters we are for changing purpose, upgradation purpose. For example, previous in one computer have 1 GB DDR2 RAM. Now, customer wants to upgrade up to 2 GB RAM. 2 GB RAM. So that time, means simply we are purchasing 2 GB RAM and inserting on motherboard. It is working properly? No. Means here first we check that motherboard. What is the motherboard FSB? It is very important. FSB is very important. for previous upgradation purpose. Means every motherboard have FSB speed. In previous days, FSB means we called as a front side serial bus, but now it is called as a front side bus. Front side bus means here front side bus. Front side bus means every motherboard have this FSB. Means here, for example, in one motherboard, this is a processor, and this is a north bit. This is the south bit. Processor, and this is graphics memory controlling hub, and this is the input output controlling hub. These two are called chipset. Now here this is RAM slot. RAM slot. Technically it is called a DIMM, dual in memory module. Now this processor only contact with this graphics memory controlling hub, and this graphics memory controlling hub contact with input output controlling hub, and this RAM slots is connecting with this not bridge graphics memory controlling hub. Here now here you are inserting RAM from here to here and here to here have some tracks, copper tracks for data transfer purpose. This tracks is called front side bus, and this tracks also have some speed limit. That speed limit is called FSB speed. What is the speed of this track? It is called FSB speed. For example, if you are purchasing RAM, that RAM is DDR2 RAM, DDR2. For example, I am purchasing 2 GB RAM. So on that 2 GB RAM, they mentioned 800, or sometimes they are mentioned. Sometimes they are mentioned 667. This is called FSB. Means here that RAM stick, on RAM stick they are mentioned with DDR2 and 2 GB RAM and 800. 800 means FSB. How do we calculate this? How to take this number is compatible to this motherboard? FSB. This FSB technically they are calculating in megahertz. Megahertz. FSB speed we are calculating in megahertz. Here, for example, if that motherboard, some motherboard directly mentioned here FSB is 800. They are mentioned directly. Means that time you purchase DDR2 2 GB RAM with 800. This and this is matching. Means your RAM speed and your motherboard front side bus data transfer, this clock speed both are equal. That time performance is very high. If, for example, your RAM is 667 and your motherboard is 800, that time what is the maximum speed? Maximum speed only 667. Means here your motherboard is supporting 800. That time you purchase this DDR2 2 GB RAM with 800. This 800 is number how to calculate in megahertz. Means, for example, one RAM What is the RAM specifications? DDR2 2 GB and 800. 800. Means here this is DDR2 RAM, and 2 GB. That is the maximum capacity. Means 2 GB DDR2 stick and 800. And else we calculate this data transfer speed in megahertz. So the time here, if you want this in megahertz, the time you divide this 800 by 2. The time how much? 400 megahertz. This is the actual this clock speed. And sometimes if you are purchasing new motherboard, that time they are giving one user manual. In this user manual, some companies they are simply mentioned FSB 800, but some companies is mentioned FSB speed is 400 megahertz. Means if they mentioned FSB 800 simple, or if they are mentioned FSB is 400 megahertz, both are same. Means here on RAM present days they are mentioned, means DDR2 RAMs it is available 667 or 800, or DDR3 RAMs is available 800 or 1200 or 1600. Sometimes it is available 2400. Simply they mentioned one number only. Here means this RAM DDR3 RAM is available with 800 FSB, 1200 FSB, 1600 FSB, and 2400 FSB. Means here this is front side bus, and now you want to convert it in this speed in megahertz. That time you divide 2400 by 2. That time actual speed is available. Means here you divide 2400 by 2 means here 1200 megahertz. Means that RAM stick each track data transfer speed is 1200 megahertz. This is the calculation of FSB. Means when you are assemble any desktop computer, that time first you find out what is the motherboard FSB front side bus. After you purchase RAM with compatible motherboard FSB, means your motherboard FSB means if your motherboard FSB is 1200. So that time you purchase your RAM DDR2 RAM with 1200 FSB. That time your RAM speed and this clock speed both are equal, and that time your machine performance is very high. Generally, you observe if you are purchasing any branded computer, that branded computer have only 1 GB RAM or 2 GB RAM. Same configuration, you assemble one computer, and in this you use 4 GB RAM. But compared to your assembled machine, this branded machine is performance is good. Why means here that company engineer compulsory maintaining this FSB, but normal hardware technician simply go to shop and he wants I want a dual core processor, Intel processor, and 4 GB DDR RAM, and 500 GB hard disk, and 1 gigabyte motherboard. Simply this person is saying, but this person is not verifying gigabyte. Gigabyte is manufacturing many motherboards, means many types of motherboards, and that motherboards is supporting different process. Now you are assembling one machine with a dual core processor. Dual core processors supporting purpose, Gigabyte is releasing different models with different FSB. So depending on your work, depending on your budget, you purchase that motherboard. When you are purchasing, means if you are selecting one motherboard model, first you find out that motherboard FSB. Depending on that FSB, you purchase RAM. Means dual core processor means generally it is supporting DDR2. So here this DDR2 RAM, depending on motherboard, what is the RAM FSB, that is depending on your motherboard. For example, if your motherboard only supporting 667 FSB, that time you purchase DDR2 RAM with 667 FSD. That time only your machine is high performance. For example, if your motherboard supporting 800 FSD, that time you purchase this DDR2 RAM with 800 FSD. That time only your machine is high performance. Otherwise, for example, your machine FSD 667, but you are purchasing 800 FSD RAM. That time your machine performance is slow. Means here your motherboard clock speed and your RAM clock speed is mismatched. So that time this performance, machine performance is slow. That is the drawback. So here RAM is two types: static RAM and dynamic RAM. Static RAM. In this static RAM, we are stored one single bit by using 4 transistors in static RAM. And this static RAM manufacturing cost is very high. And in this static RAM, main advantage is this static RAM performance, means data transfer speed is very high. That is the main advantage. This static RAM is generally used in high-end computers, means the supercomputer servers, they are using static RAM. And the static RAM main disadvantage is cost is very high. That is the drawback. Present in desktop computers, laptops, we are using dynamic RAM. In this dynamic RAM, one bit, either 0 or 1, storage purpose, we are using only one transistor. Means here, that transistor means here, compared to static RAM, this DDR means this dynamic RAM manufacturing cost is very cheaper. So that is the reason present we are using this dynamic RAM. But this dynamic RAM drawback is data transfer speed is very slow compared to static RAM. But price is very cheaper. And here this DDR1 RAM maximum one stick capacity is 1 GB. DDR2 generally maximum capacity is 2 GB. DDR3 present available 16 GB and 32 GB in DDR3. DDR4 is available 64 GB. But latest recently they are introduced new stick, that stick maximum capacity is 256 GB. Means one RAM stick capacity is maximum capacity 256 GB in DDR4. And depending on motherboard, you select DDR1 RAM or DDR2 or DDR3, DDR4. In older days, P3, P2, P1, they are using this DDR1 RAMs. In P4, we are using DDR2 RAM. In dual core, core to duo, and i3, in this we are using DDR3 RAM. And now, present i3, i5, i7, i9. In this processors, interprocess, this processor related motherboards, in this we are using DDR4. DDR4M. This DDR4M, what is the maximum capacity? One stick storage capacity. Here, in this maximum 64 GB. DDR4. And presently newly releasing maximum capacity is 256 GB. And this FSD also very high. This DDR4 compared to DDR1, DDR2 FSD is high. Compared to DDR2, DDR3 FSD is high. Compared to DDR3, DDR4 FSD also very high. Means if compare DDR3 to DDR4, this stick capacity, means storage capacity is high. Same time FSD also high. So depending on your motherboard FSD, you purchase the RAM. So this is the important parameter when you are selecting RAM. If you are going to shop, simply you are saying I want one DDR4 16 GB RAM, but you are not mentioning what is the FSD. That time that vendor is providing DDR4 16 GB RAM with low SSD, but your motherboard FSD is very high. So that time your motherboard FSD and your RAM FSD mismatching. So that time your computer performance is very low. Next topic is processor. Processor. Processor is brain of computer. In this processor have mainly three sections. First one, arithmetic logic unit, and another one is the control unit, another one is the memory unit. So it is called processor, CPU. CPU means central processing unit. So in this have three sections: arithmetic logic unit, control unit, and memory unit. This arithmetic logic unit is perform mathematical calculations. And control unit. This control unit is controlling entire machine. Memory unit. This memory unit is generally called as a buffer RAM. And simply we are called as a cache, L1 cache and L2 cache. And present L3 and L4 cache also available, but these two are the popular. Famous means this L1 and L2 cache is common for all processors. Here, if we are purchasing this processor, so when we are purchasing processor, that time first we are checked what is the processor clock speed. For example, here in older days, for example, if you are purchasing one P4 processor, so P4 processor and Pentium 4 processor, and the clock speed is 3.0 gigahertz. And what is the cache? For example, they are mentioned here 16 kb. This is the cache. Means here now we know this is the Intel Pentium 4 series processor, and this processor speed is 3.0 gigahertz clock speed. Means this is the mentioned this process speed. And here 16 kb. What is the 16 kb? Means here already we are discussing processor internal have ALU, CU memory. This memory also called as a cache memory. That cache memory is this one, 16 kb. What is the use of memory in processor? Why we are using? Already outside we are using RAM and hard disk for data storage purpose. Why again we are using memory in processor? Generally here, for example, this is the P4 processor, or this processor speed is, for example, 3 gigahertz speed. This processor means this processor is sending data and receiving data with 3 gigahertz speed. But previously we are discussing our RAM. RAM. What is the RAM FSD? 800 FSD. FSD is 800. For example, this is the RAM FSD. RAM FSD is 800. Means what is the actual speed here? 400 megahertz. This is RAM speed. You see here, processor speed is 3 gigahertz, but your RAM data transfer speed is 400 megahertz. Now, this processor wants input data, processing purpose. It wants data. That data is coming from this RAM. Now, this RAM sends the data with 400 megahertz. But here, this process speed is 3 gigahertz. If this processor is waiting for this data, Means here data is coming with slow speed, processor is high speed. So that this processor performance is reducing. So this process is waiting more time for receiving this data. So we are eliminating that problem. That purpose here we are using memory. Memory means here nothing but L1 cache and L2 cache. How it is works? Now we are discussing it. Now here here this processor is receiving data with 3 gigahertz. But here this memory unit is receiving data. Means this memory unit send data with this much of speed, and this memory section is receiving data from RAM with 400 megahertz. Means here this one, this L1 cache and L2 cache is receiving data from RAM with 400 megahertz, and it is stored the data temporarily in this. When this ALU and this processor wants data, that time it is send the data with 3 gigahertz speed. So here this processor is not waiting for this data purpose. Means here processor speed is 3 gigahertz and this L1 cache is sending the data with 3 gigahertz speed. So that time here waste of time is 0. Again, this section is receiving data from RAM with 400 megahertz and temporarily stored in this memory unit. When this processor wants the data, again it is sending the data with 3 gigahertz speed. Now, this ALU processing the data and it is giving output. Again, here this ALU send the data with 3 gigahertz speed. So that the data is storing this memory unit, and it is sent, means if this memory unit is receiving the data with this much of speed, after it is send the data to this RAM with 400 megahertz. Means here this L1 cache, L2 cache, what is the use of L1 cache and L2 cache? It is receiving data from RAM with low speed data transfer speed, low speed. After it is send the data to this processor, means processing section with high speed. Means here it is work as a mediator. Means input data coming from outside with slow speed. So it is receiving that with slow speed and it is stored here temporarily. That is the reason we are calling buffer RAM. After it is sent, when this processing section is wants the data, it is sent the data with high speed. So that time here waste of time is 0. That purpose in processor internally we are using L1 and L2 cache. So cache nothing but this is the memory section of this processor. In this we are using L1 and L2 cache. Present some processors also have L3 and L4 cache, but these two are the common for every processor. Present this cache means this RAM, this memory cache. This cache maximum is 4 MB size. In older days, this cache is only available in kilobytes, means 8 KB, 4 KB, 2 KB, and 32 KB. But present, it is improved and this size is up to 8 MB in desktop process. So when we are purchasing processor, that time first you check processor speed. Second, cache. These two are the more important. And sometimes you check this processor is unlocked or locked. Means when you want high performance, unlocked processor means it is increasing that speed. means in default, in normal situation, this processor comes with 3 gigahertz. If you play any high-end video game, that time it is increasing up to 3.4 gigahertz. It is called unlocked processor. So that type of processor is also available on market. So here processor, this processor internal have ALU, CU and memory section. This memory also called as a cache memory. This cache memory internal have L1 cache and L2 cache. Compared to L2, L1 cache is high speed, but that storage capacity is less compared to L2. And mainly in process manufacturing companies, processor vendors is only 2 companies. In this processor manufacturing companies only 2. In this first one is Intel, another one is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Another one is Intel. These 2 companies manufacturing processors, desktop computers and laptop computer processors. Here, now what is the difference between Intel and AMD processors? Both are processors and both are we are using in laptop and desktop. What is the advantage of Intel and what is the disadvantage of Intel and what is the advantage of AMD? What is the disadvantage of AMD processor? Intel. This Intel processor, now we are discussing advantage. Intel processor advantage. First one, low power consumption. And it is generating low heat. These 2 are the advantages of Intel company. And disadvantages. In this disadvantages, here this processor cost high and it is poor performance in video application. Video applications means animation and rendering. Means here this Intel processor, any processor, that processor is consuming less power compared to AMD processor, and it is generating low heat. So it is means if you are construct any CPU, if you are assembled any CPU with Intel processor, that is you keep that CPU in any rack, in you assemble that computer with a small size cabinet also, okay, no problem. And it is generating low heat, low power consumption. This was the advantage of Intel computer. And disadvantage, this Intel processor cost is very high compared to AMD processor. And this Intel processor is not recommending for this animation related means in some movies, some graphics, means VFX graphics, or if you practice Maya or if you practice 3D Max, that time it is this Intel processor performance is low compared to AMD. That is the disadvantage. Means this Intel processor only suitable for office work and net browsing purpose and multimedia purpose. Multimedia means watching movies purpose. That these 3 application purpose Intel is recommended. And here AMD. AMD advantage. AMD advantage is here. First one, low cost, and second one is high performance. High performance in video games and animation. And this AMD processor disadvantage means power consumption is high. Power consumption high, and it is generating more heat. Generate more heat. This is the difference between Intel and AMD. Means here, if you want to assemble one machine, one computer, that time which purpose that the client wants? The client wants that machine for office work purpose or multimedia purpose. Means in home they are browsing internet and they are watching HD movies. That purpose, or that client wants to play high-end video game purpose. Which purpose that client is wants that CPU. Depending on that client requirement, you select either AMD processor or Intel processor. Economically, compared to Intel, AMD processor is cheaper, and this video related performance is high. But in this AMD, for example, if you are providing proper ventilation, means proper cooling, if you are putting proper cooling system, that time this AMD processor based machine is works with high performance compared to Intel. But here Intel processor based machine, you assemble that machine with small size cabinet also it is working proper. But if you are assembled this AMD related, that time this performance means when you are selecting AMD processor, that time you select big size cabinet. Means here AMD generating more heat. So that purpose you select a big size cabinet and you attach extra to one or two cooling fans. That time this machine is working properly. Now all of you listening my voice properly? These two are the difference. Now we are checking this process generations. This Intel, in older days, they are releasing some computers with process that is 386, 486. We are leave that one. First one, Intel Pentium 1. Pentium 1. Next, Pentium 2. Pentium 3. Pentium 4. These are the processors, Intel processors. Next dual core. Dual core. Next core to duo. Next core to quad. Next I3, I5 and I7 and I9. These are the main process of Intel company. And here also AMD, in this also have many processors in this A series. And after Athlon, in this Athlon also Athlon X2, next Sempron, and next X2, X4, X6, next FX2, 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 FX4, FX6, FX8. So these are the main important popular process of AMD. Present in Intel, IT processor is the high performance, and in AMD, FX8 is the high performance processor. Here in this dual core processor, core to dual processor, core to core processor, or I3 processor. In this I3 processor have 2 cores, means 2 processors. In high-5 processor have 4 processors. In I7 have 6 processors. In I9 have 8 processors. Means core. One core is equal to 1 processor. So after core to quad, Intel company is manufacturing I series processors. I3 processor means this have 2 core, and I5 processor means this have 4 core. 4 core means 4 processors, and I7 processor in this have 6. I7 in this have 6 processors, means 6 cores, and I9 processor in this have 8 cores. And here also FX2 means 2 core, FX4 means 4 core, FX6 means 6 core, FX8 means 8 core. So this is the AMD processor, means AMD company releasing main top process, and this is the Intel company is releasing main top process. These are the.
Sir, you have only 10 minutes remaining.
Okay, sir. I am finishing this. And here, now, in this, now you are assembling one machine. In this machine, OS is required, operating system. In first class, we are discussing software is two types: system software and application software. And here, operating system. This operating system is available with 32-bit, and another one is 64-bit. So up to XP, here available 32-bit, means Windows 95, Windows 98, and XP. In XP, first off, this XP is also available with 32-bit. And in XP, in second half, this XP also available with 32-bit and 64-bit. 64-bit. After XP, Vista and Windows 7 and Windows 7.1, Windows 8 and Windows 8.1 and Windows 10. This all is supporting 32-bit and 64-bit. So depending on your browser, you select this operating system Windows 7 with 32-bit or Windows 7 64-bit. It is depending on your processor. For example, here dual core or higher version, dual core or core to quad, i3, i5, i7. These all processors supporting 32 and same time 64-bit also. So here dual core, core to duo, i3, i5, i7. This all processors supporting 64-bit operating system. For example, your computer have either dual core i3 or i5 i7, that time cost you give preference to 64-bit operating system. Compared to means here, for example, now you are selecting Windows 10. So if you want to install Windows 10, that time your machine is i3. So that time you select Windows 7 with 64-bit. Don't select 32-bit. Reason is here 32-bit means in processor the data is transferred with 32 clocks, and 64-bit means here at a time it is receiving and send data with 64-bit means 64 clocks. Means compared to here, in this data transfer speed is more and bulk data is transferred at a time 64-bit. Means compared to 32, 64 is the double. That is the reason you select it. And here another one is, for example, if you are selecting 32-bit, this 32-bit OS, any OS means 7 or 8 or 10, it is supporting up to 3 GB RAM only. Means it is only using 3 GB RAM. For example, in your computer have 8 GB RAM. Means your laptop have i3 processor with 8 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM. But if you are installing Windows 10 with 32-bit, that time your operating system only using 3 GB RAM. Remaining 5 GB RAM is unused, waste. So if your machine is i3 processor with 8 GB RAM, that time compulsory you select 64-bit. This 64-bit RAM supporting up to 128 GB RAM, 64-bit. That is the main advantage of 64-bit operating system. Means in your machine have either 16 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. The total RAM is utilizing 64-bit operating system. But 32-bit operating system only using 3 GB RAM. For example, in your machine have 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM, but that operating system only using 3 GB RAM. Means it is using 3 GB RAM means performance is very slow. That is the drawback. Now question time. Now tell me any questions.